Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you, I have a Terminator Resistance Guide. I'm actually going to be covering how to do the weapon modification system, the differences in the chips, the stats, what the chips do, because that's actually something that not very well explained. Modifying the weapons is easy. It doesn't take a lot. It's actually pretty well explained in the game. It was a little confusing at first, but once I actually did it, saw how it works, it was pretty easy and I picked it up on the first time. So let's talk about how to upgrade the weapons. Now, all you have to do is click the weapon and then click upgrade. It can either be here in your dial, or you can do it directly from your inventory. It doesn't even have to be on your dial. So let's show this here. I'm going to cover the rarity of the chips first. Now, one chip that's not here is a common chip. That's the most common chip you're going to find. And if you look here in the bottom right-hand corner, that shows the rarity. The common chips will not have that colored bar. And then your uncommon will be blue, your rare will be yellow, and then your super rare will be purple. Very basic very common rarity system. I'm pretty sure by this point, when it comes to loot type mechanics in games, this is pretty much a standard loot type mechanic. Nothing fancy here. Now, your weakest chips obviously is the common, but they're also the most prevalent. My opinion, they're only worth selling. They're not really worth using, because you have a ton of the uncommon and the rare chips, and maybe even a super rare chip or two by the time you actually get a plasma weapon. So there's no point of even keeping around the common chips. Except, like I said, except for selling, which is good for buying med supplies, ammunition, blah, blah, blah. Now let's show you how to modify a weapon. Now, as you can see here, there's 3 boxes. You need 3 chips. The rarity does not have to match. The stat percentages don't have to match. The type of chip, as you can see, like the fire rate, damage, does not even have to match. Plus, you can also use multiple of the same chip. I'll show that here in a little bit. But let's show this first. Let's start with a... trying to think here. We'll go with damage in the middle, stability on the end here, and then we'll go with fire rate. Now, this completes a circuit. To get the stat bonuses, I would click activate. Now, the trick is there is different symbols on the chips, on the sides. Those symbols have to match one another in the line. That's how it works. And then the very left symbol has to match the symbol all the way on the right. And as you can see here, it's completely green. The bar itself is green, which means the circuit works. It completes the circuit. It's good. Now, we'll throw something in here that doesn't match. And then it's red for if you have a discrepancy, and it shows you where. So this very first chip does not match the chip all the way on the right. Plus, it also does not match the chip in the middle. Let's see if I can do a different one here. No, I can't really do a different one. Now, with the super rare chips, as you can see here, they have no symbols on the sides. That is because they are a wild card. They don't need to be matched with anything. And then I just click activate and it's done. Now let's talk stats. So you have damage, you have clip, you have stability, and you have fire rate for your different types of stats. Damage is self-explanatory. It adds damage to the weapon. Fire rate is also self-explanatory. It increases the rate of fire of the weapon. Clip, for the most part, is self-explanatory. However, it's got a caveat. Clip increases the magazine size of the weapon. However, that's only for the TechCom resistance weapons. The Skynet weapons works differently because they overheat. I'll show you a Skynet weapon here to explain that in a moment. And then finally, you have stability, which from what I understand and what I've experienced is there is actually a recoil on these plasma weapons. And what that does, stability does, is it helps reduce the recoil, the kick, if you will, of the weapon. As well as if you're using, when you're aiming down sight, it makes your aim more steady, more stable. However, it's not really noticeable on pretty much all the Skynet weapons, except for the scoped sniper rifles. The plasma rail rifles are the only ones I really noticed it on. Now, Skynet weapons. Skynet weapons, even though it looks like it has a magazine, does not have a magazine. Instead, what happens is every shot that works on that weapon is loaded into the weapon. So whatever you got pretty much in your pockets is loaded in the weapon. You never ever have to reload a Skynet weapon. However, that being said, it actually overheats instead. Reason I don't like Skynet weapons, and I prefer the TechCom weapons. So what happens, this is the caveat here, is the clip increases how many shots you can fire before it overheats. So there you go. I increased my damage. I increased how many shots before the weapon overheats. Click activate, and I'm done. Now, I want to strip. The next thing I'm going to show you is I want to strip the chips off the weapon because I'm going to get rid of the weapon. Actually, to be exact, I'm not going to use this weapon. I'm actually going to use the big boy minigun, TechCom minigun, to finish the game up. So, to strip chips off a weapon that you don't want chips on, you click upgrade. And then you remove the chips. And then click back. And then click OK. And that's what you do for if you don't want chips on the weapon because you're going to sell it or you're going to get rid of it because you got to drop it or whatever, which I've never dropped a plasma weapon outside of a weapon I just looted to sell, but whatever. That's how you strip the weapon clean of the chips. As you can see here, I have the magazine size here, 80 of 956. And I have a total of 1,036 rounds. So that's basically showing the fact that it overheats instead of actually has a magazine. But anyway, folks, I'm pretty sure I covered everything there is for upgrading the plasma weapons. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I do read the comments. I will take time to answer if there's a question or if, you need, I didn't explain something well enough. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And please hit that like button if you did. Any kind of channel activity helps my channel grow. It helps, might attract more viewership, subscribers, and etc. All that stuff that YouTubers seem to like. Anyway, folks, once again, thank you very much for tuning in and have yourself a wonderful day.